Doing my best, Brian Windorse here. Why hasn't Omar Norman-Lott been signed just yet? The Kansas City Chiefs' second-round pick. We will answer that question and explain what the hell is going on here on this edition of the Kansas City Chiefs Report. Tyler Jones, your fearless leader, here with you. Thanks for joining us. In case you missed it, folks, an interesting development going on with Omar Norman-Lott as well as the other second-round picks in this year's draft. The majority have not been signed to this point, and it's a bit of a head-scratcher. Why is that? Well, let's kind of give you some context of this situation here, folks. The Chiefs rookies, they report to training camp on Monday, July 21st. So we're still another week or so away before these guys even show up here. So they don't necessarily have to have a deal done at this very hour. There's still time for Kansas City to have that all squared away before training camp officially begins. So that's the good part of all this. But with that said, here is the situation. Right now, there are 33 unsigned rookies in the NFL. And to provide some context here, around this time a year ago, there was only 10 players that were unsigned when it came to the rookies that were drafted. So you have over triple the amount of players that have not agreed to terms on their contracts with the teams that drafted him at this point. And taking that even a step further here, you have 30 unsigned second-round picks across the board in the National Football League. Only 2 players of those second-round picks at this very moment have been signed with their respective teams, and those were the first 2 picks of the second round. We'll tell you those and how they affect the situation here in just a moment. So why are we here? Guaranteed money is the issue at hand here, folks, and it is a big topic of discussion. And to kind of give some more context of exactly what is going on here, we start with the Houston Texans, who selected Jayden Higgins out of Iowa State to begin the second round. And they set the tone of this issue going on of all these unsigned second-round picks by signing Higgins to a fully guaranteed rookie contract, okay? That was the first ever fully guaranteed rookie contract for a second-round pick. That's never been done before. This was the first of its kind, a new precedent of sorts. And we've seen how the league has reacted in the past when teams have tried to set new precedents, like Deshaun Watson when he got that fully guaranteed contract, and that did not go over well as Lamar wanted that, and it's been a big problem ever since, right? So we've seen these issues come up in the past. So the Texans did that with Jayden Higgins. And then the Browns, they had the next pick, right? And they were essentially forced to do the exact same thing the next day with linebacker Carson Schwesinger. And it's very unusual that we're sitting here talking this close to training camp with a lot of teams reporting over the next several days of having this many unsigned players. What's usually gone on is since they introduced the rookie wage scale, most of these contracts get taken care of within days of when these players are drafted. So now we sit here and we wait. And everybody, and rightfully so, is pissed off with the Houston Texans here for changing the parameters of how things have been done. Next on the clock is the Seattle Seahawks with their selection of Nick Emmanwori. They have kind of put the pause button, and everybody is in a wait-and-see mode to see what Seattle is going to do with Nick Emmanwori, and then everybody else will follow suit after that. And, of course, Kansas City's pick with Omar Norman-Lott was towards the end of the first round. Other teams are reporting to training camp before Kansas City is, so there is, in theory, still time for Kansas City. They have more time compared to others in this situation. Are you concerned that Omar Norman-Lott is still unsigned at this point? It's our pinned comment today. You got 2 options here. Type Y for yes, in for no. Keep it real, Chiefs Kingdom. Weigh in. Let us know in the comment section below. Folks, this is why you subscribe to the Kansas City Chiefs Report. We are covering every fine detail about your team, even this stuff when we have to take some complicated issues and break it down to the simplest of terms we possibly can. We bring it all to you right here on the Kids City Chiefs Report. Our daily news and rumors, live shows each and every Tuesday, sometimes 2 and 3 videos a day. We're also bring you breaking news, Q&A mailbags, and more, all right here on your Chiefs offseason headquarters. Subscribe now for free. Help us reach 73,000 subscribers, just over 400 away from reaching that next milestone. YouTube.com/ChiefsTV to subscribe now. You'll be glad you did. So, to provide some more historical context, what typically has happened in the past with these second-round picks is that they would get what's called the 2-2 model, which means you would get the first 2 years fully guaranteed, and the second 2 years of the 4-year contract for a second-round pick would not be guaranteed. And essentially now, with what the Texans and the Browns have done, the 2-2 model is over. It is not happening from this point going forward. It has been destroyed. So for the Chiefs' sake, they are in kind of wait-and-see mode. They're looking at, okay, what's going to happen with Nick Emmanwori and all these other picks because no more Norman-Lott is towards the end of those second-round picks. And one that could be an interesting factor in all of this is actually the 40th pick of the second round, and that is Tyler Shuck, who was drafted by the New Orleans Saints. And what's going on with him, to give you a little perspective here, Tyler Shuck, after the retirement of Derek Carr, is going into training camp as, without a doubt, the QB1. He will be the Week 1 starter for the New Orleans Saints. So what Shuck and his camp are saying to the New Orleans Saints is, hey, I'm already that guy. I'm that dude. I'm going to be your starting quarterback. You owe it to me to give me that fully guaranteed contract for the 4 years. Even though I was picked 40th, we don't want to wait around for these other picks to figure it out. You need to just go ahead and give me that. And so if Shuck gets that as the 40th pick, then that's a really good sign for all of the other players as well that they are likely going to get fully guaranteed contracts as second-round picks. So here is the next 10 players based on their draft order that are waiting to get that fully guaranteed contract. We start with Emmanwori. Then it's the Browns, who gave that deal to Schwesinger at 36. And Big Jonah at 37 to the Dolphins. Trayvon Henderson at 38 to the Patriots. Luther Burden at 39 to the Bears. Tyler Shuck, who we mentioned there at 40. TJ Sanders at 41 to the Bills. Mason Taylor at 42 to the Jets. Alfred Collins at 49 to the 49ers at that 43rd pick. And then at 44, Donovan E. to the Cowboys there at 44. So now let's see how this all plays out with the Chiefs, their pick of no more Norman-Lott being later on towards that second round at this point. By the way, speaking of no more Norman-Lott, what did you think of the pick? We've had a couple months to think on it now, and we've seen him in rookie minicamp and all of that stuff. What do you think of what he's done and the fit here in Kansas City? Whip out your red pen. Let us know. ABCDRF. Chime in the comments section and let us know. Got a great deal for Chiefs fans. This hoodie, folks, at one point was $55. Now it's only $33. Quite the sale, if I'd say so myself. And you can get yours at chatsports.com/Chiefs sale. We have all sorts of different shapes and sizes available. And you don't have to worry about it being too hot. This is a short sleeve hoodie, my friends. And even if it is a little bit too warm for you, you'll thank yourself later by getting this thing now and be rocking out all season long. Chatsports.com/Chiefs sale to get yours today. The link is in the comments and description of today's video. We also have other Chiefs merchandise at that same link. Go see for yourself now. Chatsports.com/Chiefs sale to get yours today. Now, when it comes to Norman-Lott, we already know what his money is going to be. Based on where he was slotted in the draft, he will get a 4-year, $7.2 million contract. What we don't know is the exact terms of how many years of that will exactly be guaranteed. How I think this is all going to play out, my friends, I think the Chiefs will wait. They have a little bit more time compared to other teams and see how the market plays out. There is no need, if you're the Kansas City Chiefs here, to go ahead and give in to no more Norman-Lott and give him a fully guaranteed contract right now until you see what everybody else does. And then you can make your decision from there. However, I will say for Norman Omar Lott's case here, what's good for him, based on the 2+2 model being thrown out the window, he is setting up where he's likely to get at least 3 years guaranteed. So he's a winner in all this just because of the change of scenery and how this has gone. He's still going to get a better deal than had he been drafted in the same slot a year ago. So at the end of the day, even if Norman Norman-Lott doesn't get that fully guaranteed deal, he is still going to get more than what initially we thought how this was going to go down. So it's a big win for him either way. To kind of put a bow on this, folks, what this is all about is leverage. And we have seen that these rookies and these agents have not really had a ton of leverage in these rookie contract negotiations since the rookie wage scale was put in place. We used to see holdouts all the time and long negotiations that got dragged out back before we had the wage scale, when guys were getting paid just, out of the bananas of money, like Sam Bradford and Matthew Stafford and Reggie Bush and others, and those days are over. So now, when the rookies and the agents finally have an opportunity to have some leverage here, they are taking advantage of it. Am I concerned that something's not going to get done? No, not at all. Just might be a little annoying. Just might take a little time, and that's okay. For continuing Chiefs coverage, subscribe now to the Kansas City Chiefs Report for free. YouTube.com/ChiefsTV. I'm Tyler Jones. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you next time.